Oh, it was off. I guess my microphone is off. Thank you, Mr. Christian. Can I get roll call, please?
Okay, roll call. Councilmember McCabe.
Present.
Councilmember Aguilar.
Present.
Councilmember Siqueiros.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra.
Present.
Mayor Soria
Present.
is here today.
Any changes to the agenda, Council? No changes, so moving forward. Want to apologize for my informal attire. Made a couple trips to Merced today, so just getting back. Let's move forward. Do we have Supervisor Espinoza here? And Mr. Espinoza is coming forward.
Sorry about that. uh, Instead of being out there on the streets and doing no good, and just study hard and stay in school, and you can be a council member, a mayor, a supervisor. And if you guys need any help later on, let me know. And I'll be sure to, like right now I take interns if you're in college. So when you're in college, if I'm still there, give me a call, and I'll be happy to guide you or another supervisor to guide you. Depends where you live. So it's an awesome feeling to represent the community, and especially to help out those in need, and especially sports facilities here. I want to thank the city of Livingston, Jose and the mayor and all the council for helping out and supporting the youth soccer and all the sports in Livingston. So it's an awesome feeling to see so many kids having fun, and especially when they win championships or almost win, right? So you don't really have to win, but as long as you put your heart in it, and it's a lot of fun. So, and with that, I also to go on to today we passed. We had a board meeting in Merced County, and we passed a working budget. It's just over $600 million, but most of that it comes in from directly from the state for HSA and the big programs, behavioral health, and only the part of the city that the county does is like 120 something million dollars. So it's for all the programs that the county runs. I know that Juan is part of the Human Services Agency, right? He works over there, and glad to see that he's working there and part of a council and learning how the county is and how the city runs as well. So it's an awesome feeling, and I want to congratulate. Hopefully, that our next what do you call it? Alex McCabe will be hopefully the new director or chairman. I was trying to remember my own title right now as chairman of the board of the Merced County Association of Governments. It's an awesome feeling to be a chairman of another very big organization that works all the money for the state, and Measure V and SB1 money to fix the roads in the county, which is much needed, right? So I want to ask everybody to make sure that you guys vote for yes on Measure SB1 or yes on 69, so that I know it's hard to pay those taxes, but also it'll be a good feeling once you drive on good roads. So and also too, I just want to make sure that that you know, on a little personal level, I just moved down in town, but a little bit south. My street on where I used to live was 1462, but now I live across the street, but it's still even. So I want to make sure that the planners follow. Jose, I don't know if I mentioned it to you, that that there was a mistake done on the streets, the new subdivisions. I live on the west side of the street, it's even, and I live on the east side, and it's even. So somebody made a mistake there, and I know that was prior to like Sun Valley coming in. So this was 5-7 years ago that the mistake was done. So and I've heard that other developments across the city have the same mistake.
And you're referencing addresses, or are you referencing what kind of
Also
street?
addresses. My address was supposed to be 1872, and it turned out to be 1870. So the post office, MID, and all those, they have it as 1872, and then legally it's, I guess, back to 1870. So we got to make sure that we, the city, the planners, are the ones that. I know it probably wasn't Randy. It was probably before his time. But and other than that, I know that I got a lot of condolences because my mother-in-law passed away. So I want to thank everybody that called me and texted me, and I want to thank you very much. And the family, like I said, my wife is doing okay, and hopefully, you know, it's very hard to lose a mother. So thank you everyone. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Supervisor. In reference to that, if we can have a moment of silence for the supervisor's mother-in-law. Thank you, and our condolences to you and your family, Supervisor. Next, we have city staff announcements and reports.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and members of council. And just to follow up what the supervisor said, for you youth, you know, the key is to stay active in something. If you like soccer, baseball, just stay active, because that keeps you on track, keeps you in school, and it doesn't allow you to start going different directions. And you could be anything you want. And like the supervisor said, but if you learn how to play golf, you could be a doctor or a lawyer too. So make sure you learn how to play golf. Just my update. Yeah, I apologize. I've been gone for the last couple of meetings, so I'm going to catch up a little bit. A few slides to update you on, but we'll go pretty quickly. I know this. I'm not sure if this was covered, but as a representative of the California Police Chiefs Association, I attended the League of Cities in Pomona. A lot of important community services items were discussed and voted upon. And so Bill DeHart in the lower right picture, he's actually on the Turlock Council, and he chairs the committee, and it's a great opportunity to voice not only our regional concerns, but also public safety concerns. And so the next get-together is going to be, I think, in September. I know somebody talked about this last time, but it was great. It was my first trip. I know a lot of the council have gone. Great trip. I learned a lot. Great opportunity to see the networking that goes on, see the kind of the behind-the-scenes laboring, the lobbying that you folks do on this trip as a group. And again, I learned a lot, mostly with public safety, but 3 strike teams, 2 solid packed days, and got a chance to meet some good folks, and hopefully we got some things accomplished. So it was nice to go with Councilmember McCabe and the mayor on that trip, so along with a lot of the other local elected officials and city managers and things like that. Last night was a nice big dinner that was hosted. So one of the things I wanted to kind of bring up, and I appreciate the input that we get from some of the community members about some of the vehicles that are parked, and I know this has become an issue actually in this forum here. People have come. One of the things that we're responsible for is to ensure that our community is clean, and if you understand the broken windows theory, if you keep the neighborhood clean, kept up, crime goes down, and those are things that are empirical evidence proves. And so when you get cars that are kind of dirty, not running, trash, things like that. Those are things that can concern us and kind of cause issues for crime. So two programs. The AVA program is a state program. Every single city in the state participates in this program, and basically it's kind of geared towards vehicles that meet the criteria of an abandoned vehicle on private property. And so if folks have a vehicle on their property that's basically obviously not running, dirty, unkempt, things like that, then we mark it. One of the things that we kind of added is an additional notification. We send the registered owner a letter. We send the owner a letter. Now we're putting additional notations on the house at the door to make sure that people are aware of that. And the state basically, as officers, this is done on an officer's off-duty time, and the program funds itself. There's fees that are collected that go to pay for the salaries of those officers and the equipment that's used to support that program. And additionally, vehicles that are parked on the public roadway throughout the city that appear to be unkempt, unregistered, things like that, there's the vehicle code violations that can be applied. If a vehicle has registration expired over 6 months, there's a section 22651O of the vehicle code that allows the police department to remove that vehicle from the roadway until the registration's paid up. But also, it just, we want to make sure that the neighborhoods are clean. Those are things that the city manager and I are working on and trying to improve the community appearance and ambiance of our city and the pride that we have in this city. So it will be continued efforts, and if anybody has any questions or concerns, that by all means, I'm open. You can come and visit me at my office. You can call me, but we can talk about it. But again, this is something we'd like some compliance, and we give I think fair enough warnings on some of these vehicles. At the end of the school year, I'm sorry, not the school year. At the beginning of the week after the spring break, our officers did a week-long program geared toward making sure that folks are driving appropriately in school zones, called Safe Passage, and this will take place again first week of, actually it's not going to be the exact first week, it'll probably be the second week, to give some parents some time to adjust as they develop their patterns to take their kids to school and things like that. But again, the primary emphasis is keeping our kids safe, walking to school, driving to school, make sure they're wearing seatbelts, people aren't talking on the phone, distracted, things like that. So next campaign's August 27th. A couple months ago, I attended the Sikh Awareness event in Ceres. This was a great event, something that is done annually, and this event actually talked about the history of Sikhism by a professor from UC Santa Cruz. Dr. Singh does a fabulous job. A lot of folks, again, throughout the San Joaquin Valley region were there, a lot of elected officials, city managers, police chiefs, things like that. Great opportunity to network with the community and develop that continued collaboration with our community members. In May, we had the Merced County Officer of the Year Awards banquet, and we were honored to have the CHP Commissioner attend. This is a rare opportunity to have the main guy in charge of the CHP attend and support the event. Every officer from each department was recognized and was received a recognition at the podium. And again, I appreciate the Commissioner taking his time to come this evening. And by the way, he is a local resident. He's from Dos Palos, and so he was happy to come back to the county. May 15th, this is something, again, it's a national event, and then we do it statewide and then also locally. The Sheriff's Department do a fabulous job in recognizing those who have given their lives in the line of duty since, I think, the 1800s, when they kept track. And we're able to recognize those folks that have lost their lives here in Merced County, and then also those who have lost their lives throughout the state over the last year. Dispatch AT&T 911 upgrade. For those of you that don't know, the state collects funds from cell phone tax that is piled into a kind of a resource for all departments to upgrade their equipment in a 911 dispatch center. And so we received funding to replace all the equipment in dispatch. I don't know that it include monitors, but again, that's a benefit to our city. since we dispatch for not only for Augustine but ourselves, but it's a revenue, it's a source for us to use, and it doesn't impact the general revenue for the city. And I want to recognize Deanna Soria for taking that project on. She does a great job with all the IT projects here in the city, along with Mid-Valley. But this was a huge undertaking. So, Livingston Police Foundation gave away 2 scholarships. Again, we raised funds during the Cinco de Mayo Festival. This year, we're raising up for 2 scholarships, and 2 of the students at the high school were the recipients. And basically, the criteria was any student that was going to go into basically a service-oriented profession at a college can apply. And so, again, it's neat to be part of that and give back to the community. Heather Friesen, the president of the foundation, was there to present the scholarships. Our mounted officer, they needed a police horse at San Jose State University for a career day, and they couldn't find one. And I found out about it, and our reserve officer, Joe Cruz, was happy to go and represent the department at this large event, and an opportunity to recruit students that might want to go into law enforcement. So I appreciate his willingness to go and do that. National Drug Take Back Day success. I think it was one of the record number of pounds that were taken in. Again, all medicine that's either expired, outdated, or no longer needed. We encourage our community to bring it to these receptacles in our lobby on specific days, as opposed to other methods such as flushing them down the toilet, things like that. We want to make sure we collect all that. And so I appreciate Pearlie. She always is the first one to volunteer for this event, so she does a great job. For those of you that might not aware, Tony Lara, Merced County Volunteer of the Year for District 1 and Supervisors District. The county board, each district recognizes 2 volunteers, and Antonio's done a great job with our Explorer posts and volunteered many hours to mentor our youth, so he was recognized at a board meeting. Last detail for our Explorers, for those of you who don't know, it used to be Laguna Seca Raceway. They've since been bought out by WeatherTech, so now it's WeatherTech Laguna Seca Raceway, and there's actually an large motorcycle event coming up this weekend, and we'll have 20-something Explorers and 4 advisors attending that event. We had a couple of Explorers receive some awards. One was Explorer of the Year. Nikki Such was Explorer of the Year for the San Joaquin region. And then we had an Explorer advisor, Alyssa, also received an award. The night of graduation, the police department hosts a nice game at the high school for all the graduates, and the Merced County Chiefs Association donates $1,000 to each high school that participates in this program and buys a lot of neat prizes for them. And I think we had a lot of people, a lot of the youth participate in that and get a lot of neat awards. So our officers were there. I know that Dana was there. Tony was there. A lot of our employees volunteered to participate in this program, and as well as some Explorers. Last week we had the Special Olympics Torch Run. For those who are not aware, the Special Olympics is a program for those special students across the state that participates in Olympics, and the police department's kind of fostered a great relationship with them and helped raise funds for them to participate. They came through Merced County, and a little bit of a run and a lot of fun, and raised some funds. So it's good to have them along with our CHP brethren run through Livingston, which was the actual last location before they went to Stan County next door to Turlock and picked it up the next day. 2 officers recognized in Sacramento area for their efforts in reducing the motorists that are intoxicated on our roadways. Both Corporal Hazelwood and Officer Griffin both achieved maybe, I think, 14 or 15 DUI arrests for calendar year 2017 and represented our department at this large event in Sacramento area. Large competition, Explorer competition that was held in the Atwater from all over San Joaquin area, and that's basically it's almost like little mini police academy in there to participate in different events such as building searches, which is a larger picture, and then domestic violence investigations. And our explorers did pretty well, brought some home, some nice hardware. There's a lot of first places, mostly in the tactical, the shooting events, and active shooter, I think they took first place. Last week they attended an academy. 10 of our explorers attended the academy in Stan County, and it's basically a little mini police academy where they actually get tased and maced and run and do handcuffing, things like that. And they all graduated, and again, those that want to go into law enforcement, this is a great opportunity for them to learn some of the skills that they need to be successful in the police academy. And we sold Kiki for $1 and a penny, and I wanted to make sure that. I don't see the penny. That's right. Yeah, Corporal Kang explained the significance of that, and it made sense, and so we wanted to make sure we documented that $1 and a penny. So, city manager and the muralists and myself went to Exeter in Lindsay and Selma to look at some murals, and I appreciate the city manager taking lead on this, because you hear murals and you don't really think much of it until you're actually there and you see the buildings and you see these really beautiful murals on the side of buildings, and the amount of attention that it attracts from throughout the region of people visiting it. So we had a chance to spend a whole day down there looking at a bunch of really neat murals, and I took a couple of pictures. Some of them were almost like, it's hard to tell, some were almost 3D with some other objects sticking out. Like that sign, is half of it is kind of sticking out, but it's not, it's a painted sign. Just some beautiful, beautiful art. This is probably one of the biggest ones. This was probably almost like in a 2-story building. Took the whole side of the building. This one's in Lindsay, recognizing the military. Again, a 3D type image. Just a really neat mural. And again, I think the city manager, I think we should load up a bus and take them down there and have our folks visit that, and something that the kind of the collaboration you've had with those folks that do the art. And lastly, I know it was mentioned last time, but we had a great game, the fire department, the police department, and I want to thank our Mayor Pro Tem for being there to award the trophy. And it was a lot of fun. I think a lot of camaraderie between everybody, the fire department, police department, and something I think that's going to be an annual event. I hear Public Works wants to take us on now. I'm not sure about that, so we'll see.
Hey, Chief, what was the score?
It's 12-11. We had a 3-run walk-off homer in the bottom of the 7th to kind of.
I just wanted to make sure that Councilmember Aguilar and Chicaros remember the score. Okay.
Well, you know, well, I think we're gonna draft them next year to play on our team, so they can. Anyways, that's it. I'll be happy to answer any questions. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Do we have any other staff reports? No? All right, well, go ahead and move on to city manager announcements and reports.
Yes, our mayor, council, and public, thank you for coming. I have a few little items, and then I would like to ask Anna to come up, and I know she's wanting to recognize some folks. So at this point, I just wanted to let you guys know that the Merced Union High School District sent us a notification that they're looking at increasing their school fees, and so if anybody's interested in knowing about that increase, feel free to make contact with City Hall and we'll provide you with the copy. Also, as you know, there's been a recent ruling as it relates to the Jandis versus Ashme case, and so we're working really closely with Jose Sanchez and his team on what this means for the city, and so we're continuing to do that. In addition to that, I appreciate the chief and some of my council who have brought up the fact that there's been some the chief actually did a little presentation about that today, and that's a lot of vehicles that are out there with where they have lots of weeds growing underneath the vehicle, or spider webs, a lot of bird poop, etc. And so, those impressions are not good impressions. And so, we want to work with the community. So, but it takes all of us, not just a few of us, because it's like safety. Safety is not just the police department. They're the ones who respond, but safety is all of our, should be our concern. So with that, I very much appreciate the chief driving around with me today on that. Well, with that, unless the council has any other questions for me, I'd like to ask Anna to come up and to the podium and share.
Good evening. My name is Anna, and I'm here with the Livingston League Soccer Fuego. And the reason I'm here is because we've been actually, throughout the year, having a lot of support from the city. And we wanted to come here and say thank you, first of all, to all the staff out there that's keeping out with the fields, all the, staff that's helping us and supporting us. But I want to go ahead and talk about, I would say for now, 5 people in general. I want to talk about somebody that every time we requested, it was very hard. Every time we requested the field to be done, this person just does amazing things with the field. He has, we were actually we had some clubs from other cities say this is one of the most beautiful fields they've seen. So I could tell you that our kids played in a safe, beautiful field, and I want to thank Fernando for that. So I don't know if he's here, but yeah.
We do have the Public Works Director that can certainly accept it on his behalf and present it to him. So, Anthony, if you can come up and accept this for Fernando and make sure to. So let's give him a round of applause and. And thank you, Fernando. Yeah.
The next 2 people that I want to talk about is 2 ladies. One of them is, it doesn't matter what it was, she would always try to put me on the schedule to be able to have a field done. And I understand that there's a lot of city events, and I understand that the city has their programs too, but always work with me. And the other lady that I want to talk about, there's 2 ladies, is this lady. She would go above and beyond. I would say, I know she was working. We would actually practice at night, and she would make sure there was no kids in the dark. There was nobody, any inappropriate things going on in the field. So I want to thank Jackie and Joyce for that.
Let's give a round of applause to Jackie. So Jackie couldn't be here this evening. She's typically always here, but she was not feeling well. So on behalf of the City Manager's Office, I'll make sure that we present this to Jackie, and thank you for the nice gift. And Joyce. So thank you very much. This is awesome. Give a round of applause.
I want to thank another person that actually for today I could tell you that we have been able to continue with this wonderful way to incentive the kids. We not only work with the youth on their skills and work as a team, but we actually encourage them to be good academically. And we had one person that he was working and going up from Los Banos, coming back, and he was able to donate and support our academics last winter. And we are grateful for that because those kids are still, I want to let you know, those kids that receive and are still continuing to be A and B honor rolls. So I want to thank Jim Soria for that.
Let's give another round of applause there.
Thank you very much, Anna. And as you know, myself and as a council of the city, we always support the kids. And my saying, and I've always said this probably 100 times, great kids make a great community. And it shows if, we could support the kids and, mentor them and, empower them to become better citizens and students, then we're all on board for it. So thank you very much for the
Thank
things
you.
that you do too.
I
I'm sure you
appreciate-
put a lot of time and, hard work, and, we appreciate you also.
I want to thank another person that it doesn't matter the time it was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I would text him, he would answer. He would make sure the grass was cut because we are in Livingston, but we play for NorCal. So I do want to let you know that if we don't have an appropriate field, we do get up to a $350 fine. And this person was always sure there was no holes, the field was cut, it was available. He did his best to get it done. It didn't matter what time of the day it was. If we didn't have no lights, he was out there. And I feel that he did, everything was from the heart. He did above and beyond for our kids. We are tremendously grateful to have you, Anthony, as a great support for our kids. I want to thank one more person here, and I know everybody works, and I know everybody tries their best to do the best for these kids, but this person, I mentioned it before, he has a warm-hearted heart. He is a great person. He tries to help us in any way he can, and we don't have no words to say other than that he tries the best that he could do to make things possible. Because of him, we have been able to provide fields for our kids to have a game for every game. We were able to provide many, many stuff, and I hope we continue to have his support. And I want to thank, do you want to take it up there? I want to thank Jose for all his support to our little kids.
Well, Anna, let me just say that, on behalf of all my staff, and I'm sure that the council feels the same way, the community here wants to do everything that we can, given the limited resources that we have, to stretch. And I appreciate you being a beacon for and a voice for this community and sharing what the needs are, because sometimes we don't know what those needs are. And so you prompted us to look at, okay, what can we do and how can we make this thing better? So, for instance, at Arcalian Park, we're looking at, it's going to help some of the youth, not all of them, but it's one more place where these group of kids can go play. And, and so we're looking at, aligning other resources to have more soccer fields. And so, again, if it wasn't because of you and the parents and the kids showing up and calling us and communicating what the needs are, we wouldn't know. And so for that, I thank you, and I thank my council as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank the whole city of Livingston. Every one of you guys puts a little penny in there, a little support for us to keep on playing and having our kids continue to be active in sports. So this is for everybody that works for the city, workers out there, everybody from the city of Livingston. We were able to, I'm going to have the 04 team come up, because this team were able to provide us with what we needed, a safe field to be tied in first place, as recognized in first place as in the city. I mean, in the cities around here, but unfortunately, because we had more goals against, which are 2, we moved to second place, but we won as more goals in favor. So I still think they're winners. I still think they're in first place. And because of that, Livingston can no longer play in bronze level. That means the lowest level of the soccer region. So we are in a higher level now. So I want the kids to come up and give this to the city. And so I want to thank everybody, but I want to say one more thing before I leave.
They want
Go
to
ahead.
take a quick picture with the kids.
Oh, okay. Guys, you guys want to come up, please?
mayor.
Guys? Farm, oh, everybody go up.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, let's go.
Come on, guys. Sit down. So I do want to let you guys know that these kids are actually going to be recognized, these kids that are playing soccer and that have good academics. They're going to go see the second division professional players on the 30th. They're going to be recognized at halftime as one of the Livingston League Soccer Fuego for good academics. They're going to be able to give high five to the professional players at a soccer team. So I'm very proud of those kids that have good grades. Those of you that struggle, just continue, try your best. You could be one of those kids next time. And before I leave, I want to say one more thing. When we first started soccer, we have reasons why we started soccer, which, you know, it's a long story. But one person here knows why. And it's Rodrigo. This guy has helped us from day one till today, even though he's a supervisor out there. But the reason I mentioned Rodrigo is because we're very grateful for who he is, what he does for the community, and what he does for the whole county. Because of him, he started he started opening our doors to a special person for us. Somebody that opened the doors for the city. Somebody that, before he had any health problems, was 150% on us, for us. And I want to tell Odie that because of him, these kids keep on having the city support. So I know he's not here, but I want him to have our actual shirt with his last name, his name on it, because he is special for us. He opened the doors, and because of him, these kids are where they at right now. So, Jose.
Well, thank you, Anna. I had an opportunity to swing by his home yesterday, and definitely everybody keep Odie in your prayers. He is having a little bit of a setback. After he turned a corner on this, something came back. They didn't know really what it was, so he's having some challenges now, but he's very positive, and he has a lot of support, and I know that he'll turn the corner again and beat this. So I know this will definitely touch him, and I'll make sure to give it to him.
Thank you.
And thank you very much on behalf of myself and City Council and city staff. Keep up the good work. Continue to strive in getting an education. So we need a lot of smart folk out there to come out and come back and give back to your community. So when times, get tough, there's a lot of people that have other challenges, and you can overcome them. So you have a great mentor in Anna, and you have the support of the staff. So again, we want to empower you and give you the opportunity and the tools to be great kids and great citizens. So thank you, and we're proud of you.
Sorry. If you guys, thank you for everything. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to dismiss my soccer crew. Some of them have practice and some of them have to go. So
No problem.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Gracias. Oh, yeah, with his last, no, he's gonna. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to update you guys because I just barely talked to him yesterday. And so he's gonna have to fight this again. Well, they're saying one doctor, one physician.
City Council members' announcements report. We'll start out with Councilmember McCabe.
Well, the kids are gone, but I was going to say that Team USA needs them, so they should work hard. And then also, if they're of Mexican descent, they could play for the best pro team, which is the Chivas. Other than that, nothing to report.
Oh, definitely not for Germany, though, right? Since Mexico beat Germany, right? Yeah. Oh, anything else? We'll move on to Councilmember Aguilar.
Just want to say I attended the workshop last week, the Alzheimer's dementia workshop this past week. It was very informative workshop. Also, just a announcement for the safety and health fair we're trying to coordinate and put together. It'll be October 4th in the afternoon. So just stay tuned for more details. I'm hoping there'll be a great event for the community with a lot of health and safety information, different departments from the county, a lot of services for just the public in general.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Sicaros?
Just reporting, I also attended the workshop for Alzheimer's and dementia. There you go. Maybe very informative, but you know, maybe I started thinking a couple of things when I saw all the signs. So, but it was very informative. I also attended. Jose's here. I might want him to elaborate a little bit on the Youth Men's Conference, which is going to take place at the Livingston Middle School on October 6th, so 2 days after the Health and Safety Fair. So he's been putting a lot of work into it. I mean, so I'll let him expand, and it's been a great idea of him. So when you get a chance, let him expand a little bit on it. So, and else, nothing to report. Thanks.
Would you like to do it now or at citizens' comments, since you have the mic?
You want to do it now, Jose, or you want to citizens' comments? Citizens' comments. Might as well knock it out. Get 2 chances. Does he still get it?
Hello, my name is Jose Moran, as the resident of Livingston. Very proud. Feels good. It's nice. Anyways, just real quick on the just an update on the Young Men's Conference. It's scheduled for Saturday, October the 6th, 7:30 to 2:30 p.m. It's going to take place at the middle school, and we're really excited about it. It's really growing. It's really getting a lot of attention. We started as something for just middle school and high school kids, just for Livingston. It grew into something for all of Merced County, 22 different school districts, and right now we're looking at 300 attendees, but it looks like it's going to be more. But and eventually, later on, probably next month, we'll be able to share a little more information about it. We're going to have about 22 different workshops of interest to kids, and I think it's going to be very positive. And best of all, it's to really help our young men, keep them informed, and looking forward to careers of interest to them. And next month we'll bring more information. All right, thank you.
What were the dates again?
Saturday, October the 6th.
That's a high school or a middle school?
The middle school.
Middle school, okay.
It's going to be at the middle school.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Samra?
Yeah, I just want to echo on what Councilmember Aguilar and Mr. Sicaros said regarding the dementia-free friendly city. It was very informative, it was very good, and I hope that we can expand on it and do things for our folks out there. And also, it might be, I don't know if it's too late, but I'd like to poll the approval of the warrant register and have the staff read it into record for me, please, every single warrant. I'm just trying to, so we better, so maybe the city manager can read every warrant into the record? Huh? Ever took care of it already? Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Actually, other than the dementia, I don't have anything else. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
That I remember.
For myself, I attended the League of Cities meeting in Modesto. Unfortunately, it was the same time as the workshop here. But I work closely at the hospital, and we deal with a lot of people that have dementia and mental health issues. So it's great to see that we're reaching out to the community and bringing out awareness in dementia. So
We're talking about dementia.
And also attended the mosquito abatement. I'm one of the board members, and we adopted our budget, and they're well above, I think it was 35,000. So the budget has been approved, and Just also, as we get into the summer, if we can have a few places, cooling off centers. I know we do every year, but if we can announce it maybe on our electronic board, I think this weekend or next week it's supposed to be up in the hundreds. So we can have a few cooling centers and make sure our water fountains work in City Hall and the PD if people need to come in and get a drink of water. On that, I don't have any other reports. Moving along, we'll move on to citizen comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item not otherwise on the agenda. Members of the public, when recognized by the mayor, should come forward to the lectern and identify themselves. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes in accordance with state open meeting laws. No actions will be taken by the city council this evening. For items which are on the agenda this evening, members of the public will be provided an opportunity to address the city council as each item is brought up for discussion. So we'll open up citizen comments at 7:56. Nobody coming forward, so we'll close it at 7:57. Next, moving forward, consent agenda items on the consent calendar are considered routine and non-controversial and will be enacted by one vote unless separate action is requested by the city manager or city council member. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of the city council or city manager request that specific items be removed. Item 1, approval of warrant registered dated June 14, 2018. Motions?
So approved.
First by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Councilmember Aguilar. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McCabe,
Aye.
Councilmember Aguilar,
Yes.
Councilmember Siqueiros,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra. Yes. Mayor Soria.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Move along, discussion of potential action items. Number 2, resolution calling and giving notice of the holding of a general municipal election on Tuesday, November 6, 2018, for the election of the mayor and 3 council members as required by the provisions of the laws of the state of California relating to general law cities, and requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of Merced consolidate a general municipal election to be held on November 6, 2018, with the statewide general election to be held on the date pursuant to Section 10403 of the Elections Code, and requesting City Council to provide instructions on how to fill the remaining 2-year term of City Council vacancy at the next general election, November 6, 2018, pursuant to California Government Code, Section 36512, Parent B, Parent 2, Parent A.
Mayor, members of the council, I'll go ahead and handle this item. Jose Sanchez, City Attorney. This item looks very familiar to what you guys do every year, which is the first 2 resolutions, which are calling for the election. As you know, on November 6th, we'll have a general municipal election. The second resolution would ask the county to consolidate the election, which makes it less expensive in order to do it together. The third resolution, I would say it's something different, but 2 years ago, last general election, we had something very similar, which is basically a resolution providing instruction to the county on how to handle the rest of our 2-year or the rest of our vacant term, which is going to be for 2 years. As the council remembers, at the last election, the city council decided to fix the staggering. There was a staggering issue when the mayor became a 2-year office. There was a staggering issue because it happened in a year where there were more council members up. So what we ended up having was the mayor and a council member were up one election, and then the mayor and 3 council members were up the other election. Obviously, how you set staggering up is usually you want a 3-2, 3-1, 2 the other. With a 2-year term for a mayor, you would have 3 every election, but it's a little more even. Last year, that finally got fixed. Unfortunately, there was a vacancy on the city council when the council member that received enough votes to get the position, the council member-elect, chose to not be sworn in, which caused a vacancy on the council, which will result in another election of having more folks up. because according to the government code, how you fill a vacancy, if the vacancy occurs at the beginning of the term, and it's really, at least 130 days prior to the next general municipal election, that person who you appoint, who's Councilmember McCabe, would only serve until the next general election, which would be coming up this year in 2018. So pretty much serves for the first 2 years. What the law says is for the second 2 years, so the second half of the term, you would have to have it out for the voters in the general election. The third resolution, all it says is the lowest vote getter, similar to what we did last time, lowest vote getter gets the 2-year term. And that's in a resolution. That way that's very clear for the county what the city council wants to do. So again, first resolution calls the election, second resolution consolidates it, and third resolution just says that the third vote getter, so the one receiving the third most votes, would get the 2-year term. Any questions?
Any questions, council? Open it up to public, 802. No one coming forward, so we'll close it back up. Do we have any motions? Can
we do all three?
You can't do all three together with this one.
Okay, well, let me see if I can put this into a thought process. Okay, I'll make the motion that we adopt Resolution 2018 calling and giving notice of holding the general municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 6, 2018 for the election of mayor and 3 council members required by the provision of the law of the state of California relating to general law cities. I make the motion to adopt Resolution 2018 requesting the Board of Supervisors of the County of Merced consolidate the general municipal election to be held on November 6, 2018 with statewide general election to be held in pursuant to Section 10403 of the Election Code. I'll make the motion to adopt a Resolution 2018 providing instructions on how to fill the unexpired term for the City Council vacancy created on December 2016 for the next general municipal election on November 6, 2018 pursuant to California Government Code Section 36512B2A.
I have a motion from the Vice Mayor. Is there a second? Second from Councilmember McCabe. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call. Councilmember McCabe. Councilmember Aguilar.
Yes.
Councilmember Siqueiros.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra.
Yes.
Mayor Soria.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, moving forward, we're moving to item 3 is a resolution approving the annual Local Transportation Fund, LTF, claim to be filled with the Merced County Association of Governments, MCAG, for fiscal year 2018-2019.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, this is a standard agreement. Every year, there's little minor modifications, and so we wanted to present, we didn't necessarily need a resolution, but we decided to go forward with the resolution. And unless you have any questions, pretty standard.
Open up for public comment, 804. Nobody coming forward, we'll close it back, bring it back to council.
If there's no discussion, I'd like to make the motion we adopt the Resolution 2018 approving the annual Local Transportation Fund LTF claim and file claim with the Merced County Association of Governments for fiscal year 2018-19 on behalf of the City of Livingston.
Have a motion from Vice Mayor Samra.
I second.
Second from Councilmember Aguilar. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McCabe. Councilmember Aguilar.
Yes.
Councilmember Siqueiros.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra.
Yes.
Mayor Soria.
Yes.
Motion approved.
And item 4, resolution approving and ratifying Master Measure V recipient fund agreement with the Merced County Association of Government.
Any questions by council? This is standard as well.
Any questions, council, on Measure B?
I'm just seeing that I'm in danger of losing my record, so I'd like to have somebody read this entire document, please.
We'll open it up for public comment. Any comments, Mr. Wallace? I will go and close at 8:06, bring it back to council. And I make a motion to adopt Resolution 2018 approving.
Mr. Mayor, I do believe I had requested the document to be read.
Motion's made, I'll second.
Request denied.
First by me, second by Councilmember Sicaros. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McCabe,
Aye.
Councilmember Aguilar,
Yes.
Councilmember Siqueiros,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra,
Yes.
Mayor Soria,
Yes.
motion approved.
And that looks like it concludes our.
We have one
We
more.
have one more item.
Yeah.
The amended document for the
Continuous resolution.
continuing resolution.
Here.
All right, we have one more. So resolution continuing the 2018 fiscal year budget and authorizing the city manager to continue making required expenditures to meet current or immediate financial obligations until the 2018 fiscal year budget is adopted.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, as you know, given the circumstances with our finance director and the fact that the interim finance director that was working for us met the limit of the 960 hours that he couldn't go over, and not really knowing what the circumstances were going to be with Odie's health, there was a little bit of lapse, and at this point, now knowing exactly where Mr. Ortiz is at, we're asking council for this continuous resolution, and we're looking at bringing before you in the next council meeting, possibly we might even have a special council meeting, to bring Brad back, Brad Grant, but this time not as an employee, but maybe through a temp agency, maybe through a third party, but that's where we are. We're not where we were last year in terms of being behind, but we certainly are not close to having our budget fully ready for presentation to the council, but the distance is not that far away. So we would like to ask council for this continuous resolution.
Okay, open up for public.
Come on, citizens, got to say something. We got 3 more minutes.
Close public, bring it back to council.
Was this properly posted?
The actual agenda?
Yes.
Okay, so because it's an amendment, is an amended agenda, and because it was posted before the actual deadline date, so the posting is great. The posting was done adequately, and especially because it wasn't done. It was done within the time frame to amend, so it was done the same day before 5 o'clock.
So we're talking about, it was prior to the 72-hour
Yeah.
cutoff date for a regular meeting. It was agendized, posted online, so the agenda was proper.
Yeah, he said it better.
Okay.
So the difference is, Mr. McCabe, is that, so let's say that it was, we sent out the agenda at 3, and then suddenly it's like, oops, we have until 5 o'clock.
Right.
And so around 3:30, we figured out that we didn't have the continuous resolution piece in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we amended the one that we had sent out, but we did it before 5, so the 72-hour was met.
Okay.
Yeah, I can speak with, I was having my meeting with city manager, and I brought to his attention, I said, I had the agenda in my hand, or actually, I had already taken it, and I said, hey, we have this last meeting in June. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. and it was amended right away, so it was posted, everything. Some of the packets for the council were gone out already, but it was properly noticed.
Yeah, it was amended around 4/13. That's when we got the amended.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions? No. I'll make a motion to continue the resolution and authorizing the city manager continue making the required expenditures to meet current or immediate financial obligations until the 2018 fiscal year budget is adopted. Brad did do a good job for us, and at the League of City meetings, Frank Quintero, Economic Development, City Merced, and Vanessa, I forget her last name, from Finance, had nothing but good things to say about him. So I think he will keep us on the path that we need to stay on.
Yeah, I'm very happy that he accepted to, come back, because that would have been a big blow to us if he had not. So we basically looked at how to bring him back, because because he was going to be impacted by PERS, he didn't want to come work for the city directly like he did the last go around. So that's why we went a different route, and he accepted, and so we should have an agendizing approving him contract down the road.
I have the highest confidence in Mr. Grant. He's done a great job for us in the past, and if he can temporarily help out, our finance director is, out in medical, and we most appreciate it.
Cool. Your second?
Second.
Oh, okay, second from, first for me, Councilmember McCabe, second. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call. Councilmember McCabe.
Aye.
Councilmember Aguilar.
Yes.
Councilmember Sicairos.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Samra.
Yes.
Mayor Soria.
Yes.
Motion approved.
And with that, we are adjourned, and safely go home. Love your families. Have a great evening. Thank you, everybody.